Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Sam and we are talking about Tapforms 5 for iOS and Mac. Today we're going to do a little ad hoc one. I'm doing something a little unscripted, which is what I want to do is take this page and add a button to it that says basically create a reminder for me to do a video. Because one of the things I'm not great at, let's just say, is remembering to do things, which is why I have Tapforms to help organize my life. Now we're going to use the YouTube document that we've been using for a while now here to import the item. We're going to steal a little bit from the CouchDB record that we had, since that's already set up to go to this document. So we'll copy and paste some stuff out of that one, and then we'll get started with this one. So to get started with this, we're going to need to create a brand new form, and this is going to be my YouTube video to do, and we're going to have our to-do list. We're going to start that off with a check mark so that we know if it's done or not. We're going to give it a title, and let's put in date created and date modified just for reference. There we go. And why not, while we're here, date modified by device as well. Okay. So there's our records. Nice and simple, and we're gonna jump over to here. I'm gonna create a new script. I'm gonna change this from that to be star, and we're gonna call it add to do. Tapforms forum, leave all of that the same. And then we're going to jump back in. Now, as we did in our last videos, we need to find something that piques our interest for type, and we're going to use my avatar. So let's inspect you. And of course, that puts it on a different screen, but that's okay. So we've got that. And Sam Moffat's profile, and we've got a forum address, div bb reply author. Let's do document.get elements by class name, you, and that should give us a bunch of these. Yep. And what we want to do is for element of you, element dot, how many anchor tags are in here? Just the one? Yeah. Console.log, element dot, get elements by tag name A. Let's try that and see how we go. Sweet. So that got us one of those. And now what we're going to do is, so we found something we want to start with, which is this element. We're getting all of the anchor tags. And so we'll do for link element of you. And then console.log. Link our href, and then we want to grab this. And what that will do is, so what we want to do is check if our href equals you, Shift Enter to get a new line here. And then, so now we've got our link element, which wraps all the way down to here. And then they've got participant. And what are we going to do with that, do you think? Let's try. Let's see. We'll need to create, let's just create, add to do equal document dot create. We're gonna create an element, I guess. Create element. Elements. We'll do a p tag. Add to do dot inner text can be add to do. And then we already have link element dot insert adjacent elements after end and add to do. And can we type? And you'll return an element. Okay, that did something. Undefined. After add to do. Oh, we spelled the inner text wrong. There we go. Add to do. Hey, sweet. We got that there. Let's copy that. We'll reload this page. Make this nice and clean. Let's have a look at participant. I think participant was a div. Yeah, participants was a div. So we've got a div, we've got an anchor tag. Okay, so let's see if we can just make this directly an anchor tag. Because then that makes our life slightly easier. We can. Doesn't do anything. That's fine. Reload this page to get a clean slate. Oof, look at all those errors. And at this point, now we need to do we need to set up add to do dot add event listener. We're gonna make it click handle. Actually, can we just do this? Hello world. Let's give this a shot. See if that works. Yeah, no. That was decidedly not what we wanted to do. It evaluated as we did it, which isn't quite what we were after. What we want to do here is we have to wrap this in a function. So let's do that. Hello world. And let's hit enter on that. That works better. If I click on that, now I get hello world. Sweet. That's somewhat what I'm after. Okay. So now we've very quickly figured out how to get to our thing. We can go back to our user script and have it run. Save that, format that for me, and we have copy paste error there. Save, we got some warnings, element is not defined, so let's put let in front of that, and that should make that happy. Very good. Let's hit save on that, and we're going to refresh, and now we shouldn't have to do anything because it's connected to our user script. Okay, sweet. Now we're going to change this to be the good old import to CouchDB. And we're going to put in this link element. So we need to put in. So our link element. Let's go have a look here, shall we? So document. When we do this, it gets us this container of things. Scroll down to the bottom. That is okay, that's all of that. So there's our author, and inside of that, so what we want is the parent element, because if we can get that, that's actually the reply author and then the reply content, which we can then grab. Okay, so what we'll do is import to CouchDB element.parent. Let's test that before we get too far along, shall we? So for element of la la la. Oh, no. I'll have my console, please. Thanks. Bye. For element of blah. Console.log element.parent node. There we go. So now when we look at that, that gets our parent node, and then from there we can actually do console.log.parent node.get class name BBP reply content quote there. Element got elements tweeze. Got the elements. There we go. Get get elements by class name. There we go. It's got all of our content. It's not the one we want. This one's the one we want. So we have our text in there. And actually, maybe we just want to do we'll do a loop over them. For let reply of you, and then we'll just console.log reply.innerText. So we don't care about the HTML, we do care about the thing. Okie dokie do. And that's all of that. Okay, so what we're doing here is getting the parent node. The parent node is going to work for us. So what we're going to do is pass this in parent node to our brand new, there is no that's fine, our brand new function import to CouchDB comment node reply node. Okie dokie, and now console.log reply node. Save that. Let's go reload here. Grab that and we'll put that here for the moment, but we'll whack it in a comment so that it doesn't do anything. But we're going to borrow that and we're going to use that in a moment. So let's hit reload on this. Ooh, look at all those errors. I'm going to clear that out so that when I click on that, it hopefully does something. Houston, we have a problem. Alert, hello world. Okay, let's reload. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay. Function that. There we go. Wrap that in that again. Add to do hello world. That's right. So let's rewind for a second. In my previous video, you'll note that I had actually, and we want to do false here. You'll note that I had a line of code that looks sort of like, this out, sort of like this. Okay, because what we're doing, you'll see that there's something that looks like this. And you're wondering, well, why do I need the function thing here, which all it does is it calls that import CouchDB again. Now, what we're doing here is passing a callback to this add event listener, and we're saying, hey, use this function, call this function when you get an event, right? And it's going to send us an event. Now, what we actually want to do here is capture the parent node. And to do that, we need to create a closure, an anonymous function that we just define on the fly inside of this variable scope. And what it's actually going to do is that function is going to capture the value of this and pass it to import to CouchDB when we get it. So let's hit save on that, and we'll hit reload one more time. And hopefully this works properly. Donk. And where are we? Add to do. There we go. So we got a hello world, which is what we expect. And then we have our link to this thing, and it's linked to that post. Now if we go to another one of my posts, maybe that one, and hit add to do, we get hello world again, which is what we expect, and we get this post. So when we're getting that callback into CouchDB here, we're getting that node that we were processing inside of this loop, so that we don't have to sort of try and figure that out later. Based on the element, we can actually just pass that variable in and have JavaScript remember it for us, if you will. Okay, so now we can do, this is what we had before, and we need that back. And what we're doing here is we already have the parent node. The parent node is actually reply node now. And what we can do is we'll hit save on that. Incremental changes, one change at a time. We'll refresh, and we will clear out our log, and add to do hello world, yes. One thing I noticed, blah blah blah. We're gonna need in here a URL field, website, call it source. Sweet. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to start to create the MD5 so that we can import this, and then we will grab the, paste that there. We need to make, you need to be globals. So now we need to import that into our our database again. And the last time I did this, we cheated a little bit and we got the values directly out of CouchDB. We're gonna take a shortcut here. We're gonna copy the original one from rec-md5 window location href. We're going to copy the one that I used for the import products video. So you can see all these entries here. We're going to keep some of this, but we're going to change some stuff around. So when we look at our fields, we want to change the title to be something else. So we'll grab that field ID there. Title, what are we going to make the title? Is there a window.title I can steal? Document.title? There we go, document.title. Let's grab that. Title, we use that as the base for that. We can delete some of this, and product description has all of that in it. So yes, let's keep that, and we'll use reply.innerText instead. Replace trim TamperMonkey. And I think we can get rid of that console.log. We don't need the attachments. We'll actually leave that there. Console.log needs to go down here. Let's re-indent. Console log record. Let's see what we're looking at. Now I do need to change the form ID because we have a new form. There's no way to get the form ID, is there? Well, we'll do it the hard way. New script and form.getID. That's our form ID, so we'll splice that in there, splice you in there. Database remains the same. Don't save. Fields, we did title. Source we need to put in, so let's grab you, and that's going to be our window dot what is it? Window.location.href. Window.location.href, I think. Source field, title field. And this we need to create a new notes field. We'll make that one plain text and grab that ID and put that there. Save. Record grabs the location of the URL, so we're not going to do that more than once. We might want to find the get elements by, can we do tag name A, and let's do that, see what it comes back with. It has all of these. You are. Oh, do I need to add to do dot href equals blah? Save that. See if that makes it. Here we go. Link. add to do. Let's see, we've got our record there. It has the values in it. We have the title, we have the description. That looks good, and it has the URL in it. Let's see, inspect element. So there's a reply header, and then there's a reply body, and then a reply header. Let's go down the bottom here where we've got a few more. So there's a reply header. I guess we need to go down a bit. There's a post, and then there's a header for that post. So that makes it a little challenging. I had wanted to get this out, but since that's in a different, it's not related to each other, that's going to be a little bit hard. So let's ignore that for the moment, and I think at this point we're pretty close to done, because we've created our record, we've tested that, it's got the console, it's got the data in it that we more or less expect, and now we just need to grab the CouchDB code to put that in, and again we're grabbing that from my other video and put that in there. You can see that I also logged the error there. We're going to re-indent that. My super secret internal site that you now all know of thanks to YouTube. And now the moment of truth. Okay, let's get rid of you, delete, and hello world. Should probably get rid of the hello world. Is it the wrong document? Document.getID run F0C F0C F5. Yes, that's all correct. Okay. Let's see, connect to, because that does not appear in the connect source connection policy. Interesting. Let's make sure our CouchDB is up first. Bye-bye Logitech. And it is now up, but this error, so this is a fun thing. So what we're actually failing here is not allowed by content security policy. Oops. Back. Now what that means is that a security policy on Brendan's site is preventing us from sending a request to my internal server. Which is mildly annoying, right? Let's get rid of that hello world, because it serves no great purpose, and we'll replace it with added record. Failed to add record. Plus error. Let's do that. Save that. Thinking. And we'll jump down to the bottom again. Add to do. Failed to add record. Type error not allowed by content security policy. Now, I have worked around this before, and basically it requires a bit of a hack. But what we're going to do is you have a look at basically how what Tapforms permits, right? So we need to have a domain that is within the permitted domains to work with. So let's have a look at our headers, and we can see this big content security policy. And we can see these are all of the domains that we can use. So we've got Google, we've got WordPress, Google Analytics. We've got a few options here that we could possibly use. Now, what I'm actually going to use is I'm going to create a domain called CSP bypass, and this CSP bypass will have a HTTP address that we can use, and basically what that means is we can fool the browser into thinking that it's talking to a valid domain, when in reality it's talking to something on our local network. Now, the way I do that is editing the hosts file. I'm going to put a description somewhere for that, because my host file is kind of janky. It's got a bunch of interesting things in it that I really don't want to share with YouTube. But the long and the short of it is, when I go to this address, which is bypass, it goes to a CouchDB instance, and it's actually one on my local machine. So what that means is that I can then send and receive these items without having to do too much work. Now, I'm also doing this on the fly, so let's just do this. Access. Now, CSP bypass is, wait, what is that? Yeah. So this is my domain that I'm creating locally. Again, quick description will be in the video description, but we can see that this is actually my local machine, my MacBook Pro with many fewer ports. So now we've done all of that work. Dunk, 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 dunk. Add to do, successfully added record. And there it is, through the magic of sync. We've now added a to-do into my item, and we've done it. Now, this video is a little longer than I expected. There's going to be a few gaps for things around setting up the host names, and maybe we'll do a deep dive into one of those in another session. But that's a little bit of an overview of just my behind the scenes process of adding a little bit of interactivity to the forums here for Brendan's forums, to be able to quickly import to my little to-do list inside of CouchDB, to then go back to Tapforms. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a thumbs down. Please leave a comment if you've got suggestions for improvements, things that you want covered. At some point, we're going to also do a video on this topic, which is a different way of looking at things. It's how we import from the local file system, so that we can import stuff locally using scripting. Doesn't require CouchDB if that's been a limiting factor for you. So subscribe to the channel if that's going to be interesting for you. I think it's going to be a bit of fun. Bit of a weird one today. Thanks for watching though, and I will see you on the next one. Happy Tapsforming.